Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Bob Trade Genius. The weekend of the 11th, 12th, and 13th of October, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about just the broad market on this video. And we had this crazy, crazy, crazy week, and it ended like this with a Gravestone Doji. And what a Gravestone Doji is obviously a big wick and very little movement from open to close. And so this is bearish. It's not actually the most bearish candle, but it is a bearish candle. And now what we have to see is where this thing's going to end up. And I'm going to go over to my charts here. Sorry, this is my chat room. And so here it's hard to see it because of it's so skinny, and I got my thing in the way here. So this is on a daily chart here. That's the move. This was the gap up, came to here. Now my expectation is for this to come down and probably try to fill this gap right here before it tries to make another move higher, or it's going to fail and come down lower. Be honest with you, I just don't know what it's going to do, because now Trump kept this whole market from shorting off, okay, because it was struggling. He kept the whole thing from shorting off until the Fed now got its repo thing going, and now they have all this cash. The banks have all this cash, and now they're going to pass the baton over to the Fed, over to the banks, to keep the market from crashing until the companies then can come out of their windows that they can't do buyouts or buybacks, and they're going to try to keep this whole Ponzi scheme in motion. It's just amazing to me what they're doing. And look, the trade deal was a bust. Nothing came out of this thing. Nothing at all. The Chinese bought more food because they have to. Okay, so they made that look like a great thing, but look, they have to kill their whole hog herd, and they bought soybeans and all. I'm going to be talking about food in later videos. So nothing really great happened here. China's in a world of hurt, and whatever they tell you, they're not in good shape over there at all, and so they're struggling. And then we had these weird wicks today. So if I could show you here, is that we had this push down right here, and right in as the day started, and I'm going to take this extended off here in a second. And then when the market closed, we had this huge downdraft to here. Now, we call these ghost wicks, but they kind of like tell you a story. I was joking in our room today. I said, they cleared the stops out with this move here, all right? And I said, we're going to retest this before the day's closed. And what do? We came down and we retested this low, okay? And then when the market closed, this is after hours, you can see the color change. They wicked it down again really fast and brought it back up. And so my expectation is we're going to probably test this 293.63 area. Okay, I'm going to take extended off here and I'm going to show you our system here. Is that this is on the hourly SPY, and so we've been getting some really good indicators here to buy and sell from. This area here was telling us that you should probably be selling. And up here, again, when this is 3 standard deviations, 2. I don't have the 1 broken out because I'm more interested in 2s and 3s. And then here's the center line on the static linear regression. This is dynamic, 1, 2, and 3, and then you have these moves down to 2 and 3 here. And so you had a buy signal here. Okay, it's buy pressure. Those who subscribe, and this is going to be available to you by November 1st. I just have one more change I'm going to make to allow it to have a filter to fire for linear regression or not. Okay, just like we do for Moneymaker, I'm able to go in and put a filter on it. You can see, watch it change. See all the signals you get, and I'm only interested in trying to trade the edges, and so we're going to put that filter in as well for the buy sell pressure. Okay, but it gives a really good signal. You get the signal here by calls. You get the signal here by puts. All right, this one is what I'm talking about. We would ignore this with the linear regression filter. I just know to ignore it because I know that. And then you get down here. It's okay to buy that signal right here. You're buying calls. This was a scare the children move. They do this a lot when they push it down. Then they have these lower lows that come back, but they usually get bought right back up. And then it ran right up here again. And usually I would ignore it if you get one signal. But here we had 3 signals hitting, and then came back again with 2 and came back again with 1. And you should have went short here again. You got the gap down, and right away we got a buy signal. And then they did the same thing again. They came back and they tested lower low. This is the sweep out stops. When you see a move like this and it comes back in, you know they're going to push it higher. And then they just ran this dog all the way up. And then, like I said, you would ignore this signal, you'd ignore this signal. And then this signal also, because it was all by itself, it's inside the 2, you would have ignored that one as well. And it's trading higher. You would have got out of your call here, you'd have been okay. And then it gapped up. And then we got another sell signal, multiple, all 3. So I got my sensitive, my edge, and my sell pressure all at one time. I went ahead and I bought puts on SPY for next Wednesday. I bought the 297.50s, and then this. And just so you know too, when this thing fires here, you're buying this candle, so it's always one candle later. So because when it fires, I like to make sure it holds. And then here we got that wick down, and then when it came back up, I went ahead and I bought puts 297.50, and then like I said, I joked around. I said we're going to test this again, and we did. And so actually these puts are up into the close about 30% right now, and my expectations, I kept them for the long weekend, is that I'm looking for them to test that. I'm looking for them to test this right here, and I'll get out. So, and I think people are getting trade fatigue, and we're going into earnings next week. So, but it's OPEX too. So it's going to be another crazy week, but I think we're going to test down. And I know a lot of people are thinking that we're going to be moving to all-time highs, but I think there's some fatigue in here, and I think I think this might be a significant top again. But we'll see. But I just want to point that out to you, and SPY is the one that they're really pressing. I think small caps are the weak sister, and we'll be looking at opportunities there. And again, small cap rolled down again, and I think we're going to see some. See if that get a ghost print too. It did not. Only SPY did. So, and I think we're going to see this move down again. There's no small caps are going into any kind of market slowdown or economic slowdown. Small caps are going to get hit first. So, anyway, this held up because a lot of financials are in this IWM. But as the bond market's telling you now, and we'll talk about that more too, is that it's getting harder and harder for the banks to make money, and I think we can start seeing that reflected, in their P&Ls, and that's why the central bank went ahead and rescued them all last week. And make no mistake, they rescued them again. And of course, we get to pay super high interest rates if we want to do anything. Banks get all their stuff for free, same as it ever was. But they're lying to you. They're telling you nothing's unusual happening, but it is. But I'll talk about that later. So anyway, that's that. So I think we might have had another top here. And what's interesting to me is they couldn't break that, and see how this thing shot up here. And we had another. This was called this is more of a shooting star here, and set the downstream on this. So when you look at this daily here, this doji here is pretty weak. So on SPY. And I think this one's going to be something that it couldn't even break the highs here from a couple days ago with all the great trade news. So anyway, I'll catch you guys later. I'm going to be talking wheat. I'm going to be talking pigs. I'm going to be talking Fed. I'm going to be talking treasuries. I'm going to be talking nat gas. So there's just a lot of things to look at. And, October and November are very interesting months. A lot of things shift around. And then also talk about the miners, too, in the game they're playing there to try to suppress gold and silver again. Although silver didn't hardly move down at all. But they took a whack at gold here pretty hard. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for listening, and enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye.